Have you ever shared something deeply personal with your family, only to wish you had kept it to yourself? It's a feeling many of us have experienced, and as we get older, we realize that some things are best left unsaid. But why is that? In this video, we're going to uncover 5 powerful secrets about what not to share with your family, and why keeping certain things private can strengthen your relationships, protect your peace of mind, and enhance your mental health. By staying with me until the end, you'll learn how a little silence can lead to more respect, deeper connections, and personal tranquility. We'll dive into the wisdom behind keeping your past mistakes, minor health concerns, unfulfilled dreams, family disappointments, and even personal plans for the future to yourself, showing how selective sharing can transform how your loved ones see you while maintaining your dignity and independence. If you want to build a life filled with peace and mutual respect, you won't want to miss these insights. Stick around to discover how choosing silence in certain areas can guide your family in the best way possible, without the risk of misinterpretation or unnecessary worry. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Secret 1. Past major mistakes. As the years pass, life's experiences, both the highs and lows, transform us, shaping the people we become. There is a natural pull, especially as we age, to share the journey we've walked with the people we love. We want to pass down the joy we've known, the pain we've endured, and the lessons we've learned along the way. It feels right to guide our family, to offer them the gift of our wisdom so they might navigate their own lives with greater ease. Yet, sometimes, especially when it comes to our past mistakes, we might find that choosing silence can speak volumes. This isn't about withholding truth or creating distance. Rather, it's about preserving a sacred balance, a quiet peace within ourselves and in our relationships. Consider the story of Mr. Lawrence, a retired craftsman with a lifetime of knowledge and countless stories to tell. Years ago, during a time of ambition and trust, he entered into a business venture with someone he believed to be a trusted partner. Sadly, he would later discover that his partner was not as honorable as he seemed. Mr. Lawrence suffered a devastating financial loss that nearly broke him. 4 years, he worked tirelessly to rebuild, piecing together his life and holding on to hope despite the setback. He bore the pain of that betrayal and the weight of that mistake in silence, choosing to keep it to himself as he moved forward, quietly mending his life. One day, feeling that his granddaughter was at an age where she could benefit from his experiences, he decided to share this painful chapter with her. Perhaps, he thought, she would learn from his story and approach her own decisions with caution and wisdom. As he recounted the tale, he watched her face, hoping to see understanding. But instead, he noticed something that unsettled him. Her look was one of deep concern, even pity. That one expression, though unintended, stirred emotions within him that he hadn't anticipated. It left him feeling exposed and vulnerable, as if the wound of that mistake had been reopened. In her eyes, he saw not just sympathy, but a subtle change in how she perceived him, a shadow that hadn't been there before. That brief moment left him with an unexpected feeling of regret, questioning whether he should have kept that story locked away in his heart. Through this experience, Mr. Lawrence came to a profound realization. Not every scar needs to be displayed, not every wound must be shared, and not every mistake needs to be a lesson for others. Our loved ones, especially the younger generation, often look up to us as pillars of wisdom, resilience, and strength. They see us through a lens of admiration, and hearing about certain painful memories, particularly those that reveal our vulnerability, can alter that lens in ways we didn't foresee. They may not only take away the lesson we intended to impart, they may also come to see us in a different light, one that reflects more of our regrets than our resilience. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the gentle act of holding onto certain memories, we keep them as our private reminders of our journey, our growth, and the strength we've gained along the way. We don't need to share every misstep or flaw for our family to benefit from our wisdom. Often, a few simple, carefully chosen words, such as "I learned about trust the hard way," can offer guidance without reopening wounds or laying bare the scars we've worked so hard to heal. This choice to remain silent on certain aspects of our past isn't about being secretive. It's an act of grace, of self-protection, and even, in a way, an act of love. It lets us guide our family from a place of strength rather than a place of regret. There is something profoundly freeing in recognizing which stories to share and which to hold close. By keeping certain experiences private, we avoid the risk of misunderstanding, of unintended hurt, or of being seen as something less than we are today. It allows us to exist fully in the present, allowing our loved ones to see us not as a collection of past mistakes, but as resilient beings who have emerged stronger through the trials we faced. This choice enables us to remain role models of endurance and wisdom, individuals who continue to grow, evolve, and find peace despite the twists and turns of life. In choosing silence over sharing, we honor our past mistakes in a way that preserves our self-worth and dignity. We don't need the validation of sharing every painful detail to affirm our growth. Instead, we allow these silent experiences to transform into private wells of strength, sources of quiet reflection that gently shape the way we support and advise those we care about. In doing so, we guide our family with an unspoken wisdom that speaks not of our failures but of the enduring strength we've gained. These stories, kept close, remind us of life's harshest lessons, yet they become powerful tools for quietly guiding those we love through life's inevitable challenges. In a world that encourages openness, where there's pressure to share every thought, every triumph, and every sorrow, there is an unspoken elegance in keeping certain chapters of our lives private. These untold stories become precious reflections, invisible threads that fortify us, even as they remain unknown to others. Through this gentle discretion, we gain a depth of peace and inner strength that our family can sense, an unshakable calm that they come to respect, drawing from our quiet example even if they don't know the source of it. They may not know every detail, but they feel the wisdom and resilience that radiates from us. So remember, not every story must be told. By mindfully choosing what to reveal and what to hold close to our hearts, we preserve a sacred peace and nurture the respect of those around us. This quiet strength, born of unshared struggles, becomes its form of wisdom, a testament to our resilience that speaks without words. In doing so, we give our family a model of resilience, grace, and wisdom, a legacy defined not by our regrets but by the strength we gain through them. This quiet presence teaches them, more powerfully than words ever could, about patience, understanding, and the art of holding onto one's peace amidst life's turbulence. In the end, we become examples of what it means to live with courage and to embrace life fully, unburdened by the weight of past mistakes. By allowing some stories to remain unwritten, we allow our legacy to be one of peace, wisdom, and enduring love, a silent beacon that guides our family through life with strength and grace. Secret 2. Minor health concerns. As the years pass and life seasons unfold, we find ourselves becoming more sensitive to the whispers of our bodies, those small, sometimes nagging signs that remind us we're not quite as young as we once were. It might be the dull ache in our knees after an evening walk, the stiffness that lingers a little longer in our back each morning, or the occasional sleepless night that leaves us tired but determined to embrace the day. These sensations, though sometimes bothersome, become part of our daily lives. But as natural as it may feel to share these aches with our family, we might not always consider the effect it has on them, especially on those who care for us most. Family, after all, holds us dear. They want to know that we're okay, that we're safe and healthy, and that we're enjoying life. When they hear about each new ache or restless night, their hearts are naturally drawn to concern. Instead of feeling reassured, they often feel helpless, unable to take away the discomfort we mention. While sharing these small pains is our way of seeking comfort, it can also lead to a pattern where our loved ones begin to see us as fragile. Choosing to keep minor concerns to ourselves can sometimes be a quiet act of love, a way to protect the happiness we share and allow our family to focus on our strength rather than our vulnerability. Consider the story of Mrs. Eleanor, a retired schoolteacher with a heart as wise as the years she spent nurturing young minds. Now in her 70s, Eleanor's days are filled with the joys of reading, gardening, and occasional visits from her grandchildren. But, as with anyone in their golden years, she also feels the small aches and reminders of a life richly lived. One day, over tea with her daughter, she casually mentioned the stiffness in her knees. Within moments, her daughter's nurturing instincts were in full force. With genuine care, she began researching remedies, exploring everything from herbal supplements to knee braces, and even diving into specialized diets that might help ease joint pain. Eleanor's daughter only wanted to help, but as the conversation continued, Eleanor felt a familiar feeling creeping in, the sense of being treated as a patient rather than the resilient woman she still felt herself to be. In the days that followed, Eleanor noticed that even brief mentions of her discomfort seemed to prompt a wave of responses from her family. Every ache she mentioned was met with solutions, appointments, and concern that, while deeply loving, sometimes felt overwhelming. Eleanor began to realize that each small pain she shared had created an atmosphere of worry around her. Her family, with the best intentions, had started to tiptoe around her needs, treating her with caution instead of engaging with her as the capable, spirited person she had always been. It was then that Eleanor made a quiet decision. She would choose to keep her minor health concerns to herself. Instead of sharing each discomfort, Eleanor focused on her overall well-being and embraced a new way of speaking with her family. She began sharing the highlights of her day, the moments that brought her joy and pride. Instead of mentioning her sore knees, she would talk about the flowers she'd planted in her garden or the book that had captivated her attention. Rather than bringing up her occasional backache, she'd tell her family about her walk around the neighborhood, how the crisp air invigorated her, or how a neighbor had waved from across the street. With this shift in focus, a beautiful change unfolded. Her family, once so concerned about every little ache, began to see Eleanor anew. They stopped seeing her as a collection of health concerns and started seeing her as the strong, inspiring person she was, a woman with stories, passions, and a resilience that age could not diminish. For Eleanor, this change wasn't just about sparing her family from worry. It became a way to reclaim her sense of self. She felt more like herself, independent, confident, and free to enjoy life without the shadow of unnecessary concern. Her family, too, felt a new lightness in her presence, able to focus on shared laughter, conversation, and moments of simple joy. Eleanor came to understand a profound truth. Sometimes, there is wisdom in choosing to share only what is truly important. By not turning every ache or discomfort into a topic of conversation, she allowed her family to see her strength, her endurance, and her grace. This doesn't mean ignoring our health or pretending that aging is without its challenges. We all deserve to feel heard and supported when health issues genuinely affect our lives. But by choosing what to share, we have a chance to write our story in a way that uplifts rather than burdens. Life is full of small discomforts, aches, minor colds, the occasional sleepless night, and they're often things we can handle ourselves without drawing family into a circle of worry. Focusing on the positive aspects of our lives instead creates an environment where both we and our loved ones can enjoy each other's company in peace and happiness. Think about how your conversations could change. Instead of telling loved ones about a sore back, talk about the inspiring conversation you had with a friend. Rather than mentioning a night spent tossing and turning, speak about the beautiful sunrise you witnessed or the excitement of an upcoming family gathering. By shifting the focus, we create a warm, joyful atmosphere where the beauty of life takes center stage, reminding everyone, including ourselves, that we are more than our aches and pains. In time, like Eleanor, you may find that keeping these minor health details private can be a gift. Your loved ones will come to see you not as someone in need of constant care, but as someone full of strength, capable of navigating life with grace. And when true health challenges arise, they will be better equipped to understand the gravity, knowing you only share what truly matters. This approach is not about denying the reality of aging but rather reframing it. You show that each day is a gift to be lived fully, and that joy can be found in the smallest moments. In the end, choosing what we share with others becomes a way of shaping our legacy. By focusing on our resilience and the positive experiences we treasure, we leave behind memories of strength and happiness. As we walk through this life, let's remember that we can fill the days with love, laughter, and hope, creating an example that will linger in the hearts of those we cherish. Let your family and friends remember you as the person who, despite life's challenges, always found a way to smile, encourage, and celebrate each precious moment. This, more than anything, is the gift they will hold close, honoring the love, wisdom, and quiet strength you chose to share. Secret 3. Unfulfilled dreams or wishes. As we grow older, each of us carries within a handful of dreams, those cherished hopes and wishes that, for one reason or another, never quite blossomed. These dreams often lie quietly in our hearts, waiting for moments of reflection. They are fragments of the lives we once imagined, perhaps as vivid as embarking on a career that spoke to our soul, traveling to faraway places, or even creating something meaningful that would last beyond us. While these dreams hold an undeniable beauty, they can bring a mix of pride and wistfulness, especially when shared with loved ones who may not fully understand the depth of what these dreams represent. Take Mr. James, a retired mechanic who always dreamed of being a musician. In his youth, he worked tirelessly, saving every hard-earned penny to buy his first guitar. His passion was fierce. He would lose himself for hours, strumming the strings, feeling music fill him with a sense of purpose. Yet life, as it often does, had other plans. His path veered, leading him to marriage, to fatherhood, to the steady and secure career that supported his family. For decades, Mr. James poured his energy into this role, becoming a source of strength and stability. But his love for music, the dream that first set his soul on fire, never entirely faded. Now in his 70s, he finds himself yearning for that lost part of himself, reminiscing on what could have been, and wondering how life might have looked if he had followed that dream. One day, in a moment of vulnerability and hope, Mr. James decides to share his unfulfilled dream with his teenage grandson, who looks up to him with admiration. He tells him about the passion he once had for music, the guitar he saved for, the nights spent learning chords by candlelight. His grandson listens attentively but is caught off guard, struggling to see his grandpa in this new light. To him, Mr. James has always been a fulfilled man, a man who had given his all to his family and career. Hearing about this unachieved dream, the grandson feels a confusing mix of sadness and guilt, as though he might somehow be part of the reason his grandfather's dream went unfulfilled. He tries to be supportive, but he can't fully connect with the regret or the longing in Mr. James's story. Mr. James can feel the hesitation, the uncertainty in his grandson's reaction, and he realizes that sharing this dream has brought a distance between them, one he hadn't anticipated. After some reflection, Mr. James begins to see his dream from a new perspective. It's not that he regrets the life he chose. In fact, it's the life he built with his family, the laughter he shared, and the friendships he nurtured that give him the deepest satisfaction. Slowly, he understands that while this dream of being a musician still holds a special place in his heart, it is not the defining element of his story. Rather, it is a chapter, a quiet, wistful chapter, in a much larger narrative filled with love, sacrifice, and memories. He decides that perhaps some dreams are best kept close, as private reminders of who we once were, or who we could have been. These silent dreams become part of the inner landscape that shapes us but need not be shared with everyone, especially those who might view them through a lens of sadness or pity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. By keeping these dreams within, Mr. James creates a space of peace for himself and his family. He understands that his grandson, and perhaps others, may not grasp the significance of these dreams, and that sharing them may unintentionally cause sadness or even guilt, which was never his intention. He realizes that these dreams still have value, not in what they could have become, but in how they shaped the man he is today. They taught him resilience, patience, and the art of balancing hope with duty. Holding them privately allows him to savor them without overshadowing the life he did lead. A life full of love, laughter, and purpose. Mr. James now shares stories of his work as a mechanic with his grandson, of the joy and pride he felt in mastering his craft. He speaks of the dedication, the quiet discipline, and the satisfaction of creating something with his hands. His family sees in these stories the same passion and patience that music once inspired, realizing that his love for craftsmanship, whether through a guitar or an engine, is part of what makes him who he is. Through these tales, his grandson sees the strength in his grandpa's journey, understanding that sometimes our passions take forms we don't expect, and fulfillment doesn't always look the way we imagine. These unspoken dreams become a quiet beauty in Mr. James's life, small reminders that while he didn't become the musician he once dreamed of, he found meaning in other ways. By holding some dreams close, he can honor their presence without letting them overshadow the legacy of love, wisdom, and resilience he built. For Mr. James, these silent dreams are a form of inner strength, a testament to the journey he took, the sacrifices he made, and the richness of the life he embraced. His family, seeing his gratitude for the present, comes to respect him all the more, witnessing the grace with which he has accepted both the fulfilled and the unfulfilled parts of his story. In this quiet, inward acceptance, Mr. James inspires his family to follow their paths, showing them that life's beauty often lies in the unexpected turns, in the memories we create, and in the love we share. He teaches them that not every dream needs to be achieved to be cherished. Some dreams can remain personal treasures, symbols of resilience that add depth to our lives without causing pain or confusion to those who cannot fully understand. So, as you reflect on your unfulfilled dreams, remember that they, too, are part of your story, a beautiful, personal reminder of the journey you took and the person you became along the way. Embrace these dreams as your quiet treasures, symbols of the life you lived and the love you gave. In doing so, you inspire those around you to embrace their dreams, knowing that fulfillment often lies not in the dream itself, but in the courage, wisdom, and joy we gather along the way. And in this acceptance, you leave behind a legacy of peace, resilience, and unconditional love that will remain with your family long after the dream itself has faded into memory. Secret 4. Disappointments or dissatisfaction with family. As we journey through life, our love for family becomes a profound source of strength, hope, and sometimes unspoken expectations. When we look at our children, siblings, or even extended family, we carry dreams for them as carefully as we carry our own. These are dreams woven from our values, shaped by our own experiences, and sometimes molded by hopes for a brighter, more stable life than we may have known. It's natural to wish our loved ones would make choices that align with what we feel would bring them security, happiness, and fulfillment. But as the years go by, we also realize that life has its plans, and each person must follow a path unique to them. In these moments, when their choices diverge from the ideals we hold, we may feel a quiet pang of disappointment or dissatisfaction, a mix of worry and love that can be hard to reconcile. These feelings are a part of human nature, especially as we reach a stage in life where our perspectives deepen, and we wish to pass on our hard-earned wisdom. However, expressing disappointment over a family member's decisions can easily create unintended tension, even if our advice is well-meaning. When we share our opinions too directly, we risk casting a shadow on their dreams, making them feel as though they're not fully accepted. Over time, these small disappointments can accumulate, creating a divide where once there was closeness. That's why, as painful as it can be, choosing silence over spoken criticism becomes a powerful act of love. It's a choice to honor their individuality, to quietly support their journey without imposing our fears, and to create a space where they feel accepted and loved as they are. Consider the story of Mrs. Amelia, a retired librarian who dedicated her life to books, knowledge, and the stable, predictable rhythm of a steady career. She raised her children with a similar appreciation for structure, encouraging them to pursue paths that would lead to security and lifelong stability. Her daughter, however, had a different vision. She dreamt of starting her own business, a venture that ignited her passion and gave her a sense of purpose, but also came with significant financial risks and an unpredictable future. Mrs. Amelia couldn't help but feel anxious. Every sleepless night brought images of her daughter facing potential setbacks or financial struggles, and it pained her to think of her facing such hardships. In her heart, she wished her daughter had chosen a career that offered stability, something that would safeguard her from the uncertainties of entrepreneurship. Eventually, Mrs. Amelia decided to speak up, hoping to share her concerns in a way that felt supportive rather than judgmental. She gently suggested that her daughter consider a more stable job, thinking that perhaps a traditional path might bring her peace of mind and long-term security. Her words came from a place of love, but to her daughter, they felt like doubt. It stung to think that her mother didn't fully believe in her dream or trust her ability to succeed on her terms. Mrs. Amelia could sense the hurt her words had caused, and it left her feeling a pang of regret. She realized that, in her attempt to protect her daughter, she had unknowingly cast a shadow on her ambitions. Reflecting on this, Mrs. Amelia decided to embrace a new approach, one of quiet support, choosing to love without expectation and to encourage without critique. As she stepped back and allowed her daughter the freedom to navigate her journey, Mrs. Amelia noticed a change in their relationship. Conversations became more open, and her daughter began sharing both the triumphs and the challenges of her entrepreneurial journey. Mrs. Amelia found herself listening with a heart full of love, admiring her daughter's resilience, determination, and courage. Her silent support became a powerful reassurance that her daughter could rely on, a steady presence that was there to celebrate victories and offer comfort during setbacks. In time, Mrs. Amelia discovered a deep joy in simply being there for her daughter, in witnessing her growth and strength unfold without interference. Her quiet support allowed their bond to flourish in a way she hadn't expected, teaching her that sometimes, love means stepping back rather than stepping in. The choice to silently support a family member's path rather than openly expressing disappointment is an act of patience, humility, and profound respect. Family dynamics are built on a delicate balance of love, trust, and understanding, and even the smallest criticism can feel like a heavy weight to those we care for. When we voice our disappointments, however gently, it can leave our loved ones feeling as though they've let us down or aren't living up to our expectations. Over time, these feelings can create a sense of distance, a subtle but significant rift that can make them hesitant to share their dreams, fears, or failures with us. By choosing to withhold criticism and instead offer silent support, we show them that we trust their journey, that we have faith in their strength, and that our love for them is unwavering, regardless of the path they choose. Holding back our opinions doesn't mean we don't care or that we're ignoring our values. It's a choice to place their happiness and sense of freedom above our expectations. Mrs. Amelia's journey is a reminder that often, the feelings of disappointment we experience stem from our own beliefs, shaped by the values and experiences that have defined us. By recognizing this, we can separate our hopes from their aspirations, allowing them to grow in ways that reflect their own unique identities. Through this approach, our quiet encouragement becomes a gift of unconditional love, providing them with a haven where they can be themselves without fear of judgment. Family members may not remember every piece of advice we offer, every well-intentioned suggestion, or each attempt at guidance, but they will remember the feeling of being loved, supported, and accepted for who they are. By choosing silence over critique, we leave behind a legacy of understanding and respect that goes beyond words. This silent encouragement, this steadfast support, speaks louder than any advice or opinion could ever convey. It offers them a foundation of confidence, a sense of freedom to explore their potential, and a lasting assurance that they are loved unconditionally. So, the next time you feel a pang of disappointment or worry over a loved one's choices, take a moment to pause and reflect. Consider whether these feelings are rooted in your values and experiences, or if they truly reflect what's best for them. In this moment of introspection, you may find that the best way to support them is by simply being there, by offering a quiet love that allows them the space to be their authentic selves. Our loved ones are on their journeys, paths that will shape them in ways we may never fully understand. By choosing acceptance over critique, we grant them the freedom to grow, to make mistakes, and to discover their strengths without the weight of our expectations. This choice to honor their individuality, to celebrate their dreams and ambitions without interference, is a profound act of love that builds a resilient family bond. Over time, this bond becomes a source of strength and unity, a testament to the power of unconditional love. Family members are more likely to turn to us, to confide in us, and to share their lives openly when they feel accepted rather than judged. This openness creates a foundation of trust that stands the test of time, ensuring that family remains a place of comfort, security, and unwavering support. Ultimately, the legacy we leave behind in our families isn't one of words or opinions, but of the love we give freely, the acceptance we offer, and the support that remains steady, even in silence. By choosing to let go of minor disappointments or personal judgments, we allow our relationships to flourish based on acceptance, respect, and understanding. This choice creates a lasting sense of security, allowing our loved ones to pursue their paths with confidence, knowing they are supported. Through this approach, we create an unbreakable family bond, one that will be remembered and cherished for generations. Secret 5. Personal plans for assets. When it comes to the assets and inheritance we've built over a lifetime, there's an almost irresistible urge to share the details with our loved ones. It feels natural, even responsible, to reassure them that we have made plans to secure their future. We want them to know that all our years of hard work have a purpose that extends to them. Yet, while this instinct is heartfelt, there can be an unintended impact when these discussions happen too soon or in too much detail. Early conversations about wealth distribution can lead to misunderstandings or even foster subtle, unintended rivalries. By choosing to keep our asset plans private until the time is truly right, we preserve family harmony and ensure that our relationships remain centered on connection, love, and shared experiences instead of material matters. Consider Mr. Roberts' story as an example. After retiring from a long, successful career in banking, Mr. Robert had carefully constructed a modest estate, knowing he wanted to provide a sense of comfort and security for his 2 sons after he was gone. In his mind, his decision to share these plans early was a show of love, a gesture meant to give his sons peace of mind. He envisioned that his openness would bring the family closer and assure them that he had thoughtfully prepared for their futures. And so, during a family gathering, Mr. Robert revealed his plans, explaining how he intended to divide his assets and laying out his vision for the family's financial security. At first, the response seemed positive. His sons listened intently, nodding along as he spoke, and even expressed gratitude for his transparency. But as time passed, Mr. Robert noticed a shift in their behavior. His sons began to ask questions about his investments, subtly suggesting ways they thought the estate could be redirected. Soon, the inquiries became more frequent, almost as if his private plans had become an open topic for discussion and debate. It was subtle, but Mr. Roberts sensed a tension building that hadn't been there before, a quiet strain that turned his loving gesture into a source of stress. What he had once viewed as a gift of assurance had transformed into an ongoing negotiation, one that began to strain his relationship with his sons. Reflecting deeply, Mr. Robert realized that by discussing his inheritance plans too early, he had unintentionally introduced a dynamic where his family's focus shifted from their bond to the assets he intended to leave behind. He saw that his sons, perhaps without even realizing it, had started to view him not just as their father but as a figure managing future finances. This was a sobering realization, but it also gave him the insight he needed to make a change. In response, Mr. Robert took a different approach. He decided to keep his finalized plans private and instead worked closely with a trusted advisor to organize his affairs. By keeping his arrangements personal, he freed himself from the burden of constant explanation, reclaiming his relationship with his sons. Rather than involving his family in every financial decision, he focused on simply being present, spending time with them, and making memories. In doing so, he removed the weight of inheritance from their interactions, allowing their time together to be filled with love, laughter, and a sense of pure family connection that was free from the complexities of material wealth. The decision to keep asset plans private isn't about withholding affection or trust. Rather, it's a recognition of how easily financial discussions can cloud the true value of relationships. Even with the best intentions, these conversations can sometimes turn the focus from love and connection to material value, causing family members to view one another through a lens shaped by expectations. By choosing to wait until the moment is right, we protect the harmony within our family, allowing every shared moment to be one of closeness rather than concern over future inheritances. This approach also minimizes potential misunderstandings. In any family, each member has their own needs, dreams, and challenges. When we disclose our plans prematurely, we risk creating feelings of comparison or even resentment among loved ones. One child may feel more entitled, another may feel overlooked, and the family's interactions may shift to a place of competition rather than unity. Instead of engaging in frequent conversations about assets, we can create a legacy by imparting valuable life skills and wisdom to our loved ones, leaving a mark on their lives that is far more enduring than material wealth. For instance, after choosing to keep his inheritance plans private, Mr. Robert found new ways to connect with his sons. Rather than focusing on his estate, he shared his insights on practical financial skills, budgeting, investing, and building financial independence. He taught them how to navigate the complexities of money management without mentioning his wealth. In doing so, he not only empowered them with the skills needed to succeed independently but also strengthened their relationship. This method of sharing created a bond rooted in knowledge and care, free from the complications of inheritance expectations. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Keeping our asset plans to ourselves also provides a powerful sense of freedom and independence over our legacy. Life is full of unexpected changes, and we need the space to adjust our plans as circumstances evolve. By holding our intentions privately, we can make these adjustments as necessary, free from the pressures or influences that family members may unintentionally bring. This privacy gives us the chance to ensure that our legacy aligns with our true values and long-term goals, allowing us to make decisions that bring us peace of mind. And when the time does come to share these plans, we can do so with confidence, knowing that each choice was made carefully, thoughtfully, and without external pressure. So, before feeling the urge to discuss your estate plans with your family, take a moment to consider the deeper value of focusing on the love, respect, and connection you share. Choosing to keep asset plans private doesn't mean hiding anything. It means protecting the foundation of the family by ensuring relationships come first. Through shared time, laughter, and understanding, you create memories that will be cherished long after material wealth fades. Family, at its core, is not defined by the contents of an asset list or a will. It is the legacy of love, compassion, and mutual respect that we build through the moments we share. By preserving the personal nature of your asset plans, you ensure that your loved ones see you for who you truly are, a source of wisdom, strength, and unbreakable love. Through this approach, you leave behind a legacy that speaks to the values you hold dear, a legacy that is woven with care, patience, and the understanding that relationships are the true treasures in life. This legacy, built on a foundation of shared experiences and life lessons, will resonate far beyond any financial inheritance, forming a lasting bond that connects generations through love and respect. In choosing to keep your plans private, you create a truly timeless heritage, a legacy that your family will carry in their hearts long after you're gone. As we conclude this heartfelt discussion on the importance of keeping personal asset plans private to protect family harmony, let's take a moment to reflect. What have you learned so far? Is there a particular insight or approach that resonated with you? We'd love to hear from you. Please share one thing you've learned that you plan to bring into your own life in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please take a moment to leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights on life, legacy, and building meaningful connections with those we love. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.